T minus 20 seconds. Come. How you guys doing this evening? Not sure if you can hear me outside the sauna. Let me get your chat pulled up on the monitor so I can see it. And we're going to switch things up a little bit tonight. I feel like it's getting a little redundant. And here we go. How's everybody doing tonight? Good, Chet. How are you? I like you guys. I like your answers already. I'll have to take a look at those in just a second. Okay. If you're just tuning in for the first time, this is day 12 of the 30 for 30. I'm going to see if we can do a better job tonight with the lighting. And I think it's a little better. It's not a lot better, but it's a little better. Good evening. Good to see you guys. Hi, Truth Provider. Hi, Edwin. Hi, Chet. Hi, Tracy. I'll get to you in just 1 second. Let me fix my towels and stuff so I can get situated for my session. And I'm back in the corner sauna tonight, but I'm at a different window. I have lights on outside. Yeah, I think so. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback. I was curious how it looks for you guys. Let me just adjust this just a smidgen. And I think, pretty sure we should be in business. Someone got a haircut? No, not between yesterday and today. I just don't have any, I don't have any of the stuff in it. I usually wear stuff, but I had to do a late workout today. So I just had a shower not too long ago. This 30 for 30 sauna challenge thing is killing my showers, laundry, and my skin. No, actually, I want to talk about that tonight. So I want to switch things up today. I feel like it's getting a little stale over the last couple of days, or stale for me, because like the same questions, and I feel like we're talking about the same material all the time. A few new people come in, and ask stuff, but the overarching theme of everything seems to be very, very, very similar. So what I thought I would do tonight is switch things. And yes, I'm in the corner sauna. You can't sit with a knee up and stuff like that in a smaller sauna, in case anyone is curious. So what I'd like to do tonight is switch things up and ask you guys questions, because you guys are always asking me questions, but I feel like I say the same answers and I talk about the same stuff all the time over and over. So tonight's theme is infrared sauna benefits, and I'm going to lead and I'm going to pace this, but I'd like to hear from you guys and see what you think. So I've got a few questions for you. One of the things, even after using saunas for as long as I have, one of the things that I've noticed from doing the 30 for 30 is after about the first 7 days of using the infrared saunas, doesn't matter which one, I noticed improvements in deep sleep. I noticed the biggest improvements in my skin, like the pores and things like that on my nose are clearer. I had I want to use the word sty. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but I don't know if you guys can see it. I had a mark on my face right here, and that is shrinking, right? Like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not proposing that anyone's going to achieve the same outcome or whatever from regular sauna use, but I do want to kind of report my own sauna benefits before I ask you guys the question. So to you guys, what got you into saunas? Like, why are you even interested in them? If you own a sauna, what got you to buy one? What are you looking to achieve with it? If you want a sauna, why do you want it? So what benefits have you experienced in your life from either incorporating sauna use into your life? Truth Provider says pesticide detox. Cool. So now that I've got that, you guys can think about it for a minute. I'm going to go up, answer a couple questions, and we'll circle back. And just throw your answers in the chat. Whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is. What are your health goals? Why do you, why do you even have an interest in sauna? We could even talk about infrared versus traditional. Do you have an opinion? If you like one or the other, why? I'm open to anything, so nothing is off limits. You could tell me that the stuff that I like is terrible and the things that you've used for 50 years are way better. Totally fine. No issue with it. So you guys can say anything you want. But tonight's theme is centered around sauna benefits. Why do we all like saunas? What have they done for you in your life? What is your interest going forward? What do you hope to achieve with them? And yeah, just like general feedback. So let's start at the top. Chet says, good evening. How's it going? Great. Good to be here, or good here. Excellent, Chet. Good to hear from you. Glad to see you. Tracy says, Matt, I have the option of having an NIR bulb added to a far infrared sauna atop of the roof for an extra $200. It would have a separate on-off switch. Is there enough benefit for the small extra cost? You must be buying a Heavenly Heat sauna. They're the only company that I know of that would do that for you for $200. In my opinion, yeah, it's. I mean, that's a lot of money to pay for a single heat bulb. I mean, I have them in this sauna. I've got videos on YouTube that show you how to install them using a receptacle extender. I didn't know you were going to ask that, but I just happen to have this stuff in here because I took the roof off this sauna for some filming the other day, unrelated to 30 for 30, but that's a lot of money to pay for a $10 bulb and a fixture, but I think you should do it because there is a little bit of merit to having it done. And unless you're willing to take your brand new sauna and cut a hole in the roof and run the wires yourself, you're probably never going to have it. So I would say, yeah, I would do it. So having it is definitely worth not having it, or you know what I'm saying. Truth Provider says, answer, most of my sauna sessions over the past 25 years have been with traditional saunas. This year, my own far infrared sauna because the sauna in my condo was shut down due to COVID. Cool. So what do you think about the difference between the 25 years in traditional versus the far infrared? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Pros and cons of both? Just curious, like where you guys are at. What do you like? Forget about, you know, all this stuff that I say all the time. I'm getting tired of saying the same things. Can you tell? Edwin says, good evening. Lighting better. True Provider says, hello. Someone got a haircut. Oh, we did that already. Jessica Oaks would love to know what supplements you take. I'm working on a list. Yeah, that's my mistake. I was trying to put it on like an Amazon wish list and share it with everybody, or put it on my Amazon influencer page, but it's just too complicated. It's got to be in a blog post where there can be in-depth stuff and resources and blah, blah, blah. So I'm working on it. It's coming. Gone Seven Chero says, playing Life, the board game, and watching this live stream. Awesome. That's cool. Truth Fighter said, using saunas for pesticide detox. Chet says, mostly health reasons. I've noticed better skin and better sleep. It also gives me personal time to myself. Yeah, I didn't even think of mentioning that. Probably because I've been doing 30 for 30. So if it's your first time tuning in, this is me in the sauna doing a 30 for 30 sauna challenge. It's 30 minutes a day for 30 days straight and live. So this is not what I would consider personal time, but yeah, I usually put the relaxing tunes on like we were talking about and just go to town. Edwin says, sauna promotes sweating, which is one of 4 channels of elimination. Absolutely. Steve K says, sitting in my sauna now, love the way it makes me feel overall. Like how, Steve? Like what, you just get benefits from regular heat therapy? What do you guys, like, let's dig in a little bit here. Because there's these crazy videos on YouTube that talk about, you know, sauna benefits, specifically infrared sauna benefits. And some of them are a little obnoxious. Like some of them are like, oh, you want to use an infrared sauna because it penetrates deeper and you've got to have this and you've got to have that and blah, blah, blah. But these are not real people in real world scenarios that have a lot of experience incorporating this stuff into their life. So I thought I could ask you guys, since you seem to be regular sauna advocates, at least, you know, what do you hope to get out of this stuff? What have you experienced in your life? Or if you haven't ever had a sauna and you want to buy one, what is it that you want out of that thing? What are you expecting? And if you have, you know, you could talk about either the brand that you have, the type that you have, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. If it did something, or do you wish that it did one thing that it doesn't do, or whatever, you know, whatever's on your mind. So throw something in the chat. I've said a lot, asked a lot of questions. We're getting a few. I see you. The rest of you guys in here aren't participating. A few more people popped in. This is day 12 of 30 for 30 sauna challenge. So I am almost halfway through. I'm doing well. My body, I took a night off yesterday from workout, but I did not skip sauna session. I think if this works well tonight, I'm going to start dialing up the heat again. If I can, you know, maintain without overheating the electronics and the recording goes smooth and everything else. So I think we're going to do the intense sessions. We're about halfway through. So at least by halfway through, I want to start doing the preheat protocol, or what I consider, you know, my warm up, because warming up your body, getting the blood flowing, doing some lymphatic stuff, maybe using a vibration plate, rebounder, whatever. I'd like to show you guys what I do for myself when I'm not doing this. So it's a little different. And what I might do is get somebody else to film it one night so they could walk around either with a phone, live camera, tripod, gimbal, whatever works best. And I won't necessarily be able to talk 100% of the time, but you'll be able to see, the exact steps that I take normally when I sauna by myself. So Steve says, our truth provider says, traditional sauna I was used to was a big room so I could walk around in it and stretch out. It has a floor drain, so towels not really needed as much. I remember you mentioning that the other day, or maybe it was even yesterday. Steven says, I usually sauna in the morning after my workout, but I've noticed it really takes a lot out of me. So tonight, the first time doing it at night, looking for a nice sleep after. That's been my experience too, Steven. A lot of people say, how come I'm not doing the 30 for 30 in the morning? Well, when no cameras are rolling and no one's around, I'm not saunaing in the morning anyway. I never sauna in the morning anymore because it's not like just a workout. For some reason, it tires me out. I just feel better and I sleep really well when I do it at night. Now, I will tell you that doing the 30 for 30 at 9 p.m. Eastern, there's been a couple of nights that have been challenging. And I think the challenge is I get a little bit more cortisol, or I get a little stressed when the live stream freezes or the camera equipment overheats or whatever. And I get kind of all jacked up and it's almost like 10 o'clock p.m. and it's too late in the night. And so usually when I sauna by myself, no recordings, no live, I don't sauna at 9. I usually sauna maybe like around 8. So I'm done, showered, relaxing by 9. So if I go to sleep at 10, 10:30, 11, I don't know, whenever I get tired, there's enough time in there to kind of come down from the heat therapy. And I think right now doing these 30 for 30s, I've had a few nights where it's midnight and I'm still just laying there staring at the ceiling like, why am I not tired? Which is unusual for me. Usually I get up early and I go to sleep at a reasonable time. So, but I definitely share your sentiments there. Rachel says, looking at purchasing a one-person sauna, started infrared sauna 3 months ago at a spa, now decided to buy one. Stumbled upon your channel and appreciate all your knowledge. Well, thank you, Rachel. I appreciate you saying that. If there's any questions that you have, or if you're looking, like the best way that I could help you if you're looking at purchasing a one-person sauna and you haven't ordered one yet, is just to tell me what's important to you about it. And I could kind of guide you on what to look at, maybe give you some tips or pointers if there's something that you should avoid. Truth Provider says, but the far infrared is less hot, but has a great sweat. Yeah, that's been my experience too. And I've gotten used to them, right? Like I prefer the convenience. When I have moving them and setting them up in a new residence has been a piece of cake, because it's not like I have to ventilation, or it's not like I have to install a ventilation system or put it in a bathroom with an exhaust fan or something like that. If I was doing steam, I'd be worried about that, because in Florida we have mold issues, like mold problems, even without having a sauna in the house. A lot of houses have mold. But just the ease of setup, it's made such a difference in my life and other people, friends and family, sauna customers, everything. So it's difficult to go back now, but I do every once in a while just because I like it. I like to try it, like test things. Far infrared is easier. Truth Provider says far infrared is easier on my heart, less stress. I still sweat well on it, so that is good. Yeah, I mean, I think you can still sweat the same volume at a lower temperature. And you guys are asking, oh my God, I made a mistake. Oh, somebody was asking me about, oh man, somebody was asking about the towels, and I don't know what I did, but I just wiped my face with this thing, and I think I washed this with some of the bad towels because I'm running out of towels because we've done so many. This is day 12, so I'm using 3 towels a day for sauna. I'm using 1 towel for shower, and I'm not getting very many days out of my shower towel because I'm taking 3 showers a day. So I think I washed some old sauna towels that I dug out of a closet, and something is not cooperating. And this is what I was talking about the other day. If you have poor quality towels, this is what you can expect. So my number 1 tip for sauna towels is to don't skimp on the quality, because if you get those fibers and all that stuff, you go to wash your face, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the drill. Sauna's at 130 degrees right now, just in case you're curious. I'm starting to sweat pretty good. I know you can't see everything, the lights are too far back over my head and the thing doesn't focus very well, but I'm sweating pretty good. I don't know if it's going to focus. Probably won't. Anyway, let's see. I left off with Truth Provider. Chet says, when I work afternoon, I sauna midday and try to get a nap in before work. Yeah, that works too. If I could do a nap all the time, but that it works better for me in the evening. And I find that it really impacts my sleep in a positive way, saunaing at night, but it has to be the right amount of time before I go to bed. And I'm learning that the hard way. Again, from the Sauna for, or the 30 for 30, the Sauna for Sauna. Dan, get Detoxing today, late to the party, but hey all. Hey Dan, how you doing? Got your text, saw your links and stuff there. Haven't had a chance to look at them. I tried to text you a picture of workout tonight, let you know what I was doing, but it didn't go through. Tracy says, NR seems to be a no-brainer on LED panels. Are you fairly convinced of the benefits of the bulb types you shared a minute ago? Well, what do you mean, Tracy? When you say, am I fairly convinced of the benefits of the bulb type? Because the bulb type is not the same as having a PBMT panel. If you're talking about PBM, I mean, the actual therapeutic output of a near-infrared red light panel that's targeted at one specific range. It's usually either 660 nanometers or the 800 range, and they're isolated at that. So the output, the amount of output that you get at those specific ranges is not going to compare to one of these, because these don't have a flat curve output. They have a round curve output. So if you look at the graph, you're going to have, you're going to start at a little below near infrared. You're going to come into near infrared, mid infrared. There's going to be some far infrared. You got to look at it. I mean, that's not a good example, but to understand. But for $200, you're not going to get a good PBMT device for $200. So you might as well have them put it in the ceiling. If it was me, I would do it. So, or I would just cut a hole and do it myself if you're feeling handy and you have a little bit of tools. But most people freak out when you suggest they do that. So, Truth Provider, a traditional sauna does produce some far infrared wavelengths, but it takes a ton of electricity to do it. Yes, it does. I would agree. And if it's a really large one, how are you going to absorb the far infrared that it produces if you're 9 feet away? But I understand what you're saying. Truth Fighter says, I used to do saunas in the morning, Epsom salt float tank, soak at night just before bedtime. Great sleep then, or slept great then. Cool. You had a float tank at your house? That sounds awesome. Tracy says, thanks. You're welcome. If you have other questions, I'm happy to answer them. I'm not being short with you. Just want to make sure that I'm not misleading you. Like, I don't want you to think, oh, I can just get one light bulb and it's the equivalent of like a, an $1,800 full body setup. It's not. But I like it. I think you'll like it. If nothing else, it's there in case you want to try it. So for $200, you're not going to get a much better, little test than that. You guys are quiet in the chat. Well, Dan just popped in. Maybe Dan has some things to add. So tonight's theme is infrared, or not infrared sauna, but just sauna benefits. Instead of you guys asking me questions all night, I want to flip the table or flip the script and turn the tables, ask you guys questions. Why do you like saunas? What benefits have you received from incorporating it into your life? Is there a particular sauna type that you like? Do you like infrared? Do you like traditional? There's no right answer. I'm not going to say anything to anybody. You can say the stuff that I like or recommend is terrible. That's totally fine. I don't mind. Just want to know, what benefits have you gotten out of sauna use in your own life? And if you don't own a sauna, what do you hope to get out of sauna use by purchasing one? What brands do you like? What don't you like? What are the pros and cons of the sauna that you do have or the saunas that you've used? Let's talk about that, because a lot of the commentary online is marketing material from sauna companies or folks that really don't have a lot of experience with several different brands or different types of saunas. The people that sell saunas, most of them, like the actual telemarketers that take the calls at the sauna companies, a lot of them don't even have a sauna in their own house of the brand of the company that they work for. So that's a problem. And people are getting advice from these people. So, and for sure, most of them, even if they sell saunas every day, I'm going to open the door a little bit. The camera seems like it's getting too hot. I've got a pretty good sweat going on. We're only at 131 degrees, so not super crazy, but I want to make sure the camera lasts at least. I see I'm fogging up just a tad. One of the other issues is that the people selling the saunas over the phone that work as a salary or commission sales folks at sauna companies have used maybe 3 saunas in their life. The one that the sauna company they work for gave them, the sauna at their gym, or a friend's, or something like that. Yet these are the people that are talking to folks about the benefits of saunas, why you should buy one, why you should buy theirs. So I'd like to have an open discussion with you guys and just throw whatever you want in the chat. Tracy says, already have a PBM unit on order, so trying to figure out if we get any value on top using NIR inside the sauna you might not get from a PBM. Well, what'd you order? I mean, did you order something like EMR Tech Firestorm, or like something that's small? Because you could probably incorporate that into the sauna usage too. It might lessen the lifespan of it a little bit, but I don't know. It depends on how. Biomax 600. Okay, yeah, that's a little different. It depends on if budget matters to you. I mean, if $200 is no big deal to you, I would just have them cut the hole. That way you can try it and see for yourself instead of, reading Facebook comments or reviews or whatever online, because there is a drastic difference. The heat lamps here, I mean, this is 250 watts of heat. So this feels way different. Even forget about you're getting the near infrared or not getting the near infrared. This feels way, way, way different than a PBMT panel. So a PBMT panel is relatively cold, never going to make you sweat. I don't know if you've used them before. I'm probably just rambling on of stuff you already know, but just trying to give you just don't want it to mislead you in any way. I want you to have the most educated, or make the most educated purchase decision that you possibly can. And I am getting fibers in my mouth again, but we've already started, so I can't leave and get another towel. Let's see. Let's see. Rachel says, low EMF is important to me. The sauna spa that I'm currently going to do is Enlighten. Is it Enlighten or Sunlighten? Because that could be a typo. I saw someone mention the sauna ray, and I looked into that to see if there were one in the other evening. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. I have one in the other room if you have any questions about it. Not an Enlighten, a sauna ray. In fact, I just shot a video 2 minutes ago because there was some guy trolling me on YouTube saying that I have no idea or no proof that the the heaters in a sauna ray are the same as a Therasana. And I'm like, are you sure? Because we could go in the other room and try it if you want. Truth Provider says, I'm sure I'd be dead by now if I hadn't detoxed using a sauna. Lifesaver for me. Awesome. That's pretty cool. I like that perspective. Edwin says, looking to get back into sauning and bought your course, great value, and should have all the parts in and set up next week. Sweet. I think you'll like it. I think you'll really like it. It's going to work a lot better than it seems like it works when we do these lives, because there's too many things going on. And well, you saw what happened. I mean, the camera freezes. I get the door open. All this, everything's wrong about trying to do that because there's no glass in it. So, but if I'm just using it by myself, it works like gangbusters for no money. So definitely get you buying a pinch, or, so you can save money and get a quality sauna or move to your forever home or whatever. You guys already know all this. Steven says, I've only experienced the HealthMate because that's what I have. Looking to upgrade because I want something bigger so I can lay down in it. Yeah, a lot of people want that. Saunas that you can lay down in are hard to come by. I mean, there's like, I think there's the Sanctuary Y, which all the benches come out. It's probably the one that I know of that's the most versatile. If it made sense and the HOA would let me do it, and I could get an electrician to bore through the concrete wall and run a dedicated circuit around the perimeter of this place, I would put in 220 and try some larger saunas. The only reason I don't have them for myself is because of that. It just doesn't make sense. So when I do the forever home thing, I'll be able to run all that stuff myself. But here, it's just pretty strict. I don't think it makes sense. Rachel says, any reviews, but did see that you were in one the other night and it didn't look very comfortable. No, you're talking about the Sauna SR1 or the Sauna 1 person? I mean, it's no less comfortable than any other one-person sauna. It's not there's nothing wrong with it. It just has those concave ceramic heaters. So it just depends on what you're looking for. But I like that. I mean, I try not to make videos about their stuff anymore because I like the fact that they at least try to make cabinetry in-house instead of sourcing it for overseas like a lot of the other companies. But there's also some build quality stuff that are different, right? Like they're handmade one at a time, and you can tell. The fit and finish of the sauna that I'm in right now is a little tighter, a little better, a little more elegant than one of those. That's very rudimentary, especially the lights. Like there's a bulb that screws into the ceiling. I mean, it's, I don't know. Anyway, whatever is right for you is the answer. Chet says the only thing missing from the Sunlight and Impulse was different programs. Even though I know the programs are not perfect, false sense of different wavelengths over radiant health. So Chet, let me ask you, you've owned I can't remember because I talked to too many people. You've owned an Impulse and now you have a Radiant. What would you say the differences are, just out of curiosity? Because I too started out with a Sunlight and Impulse, and like, for example, tonight I'm in a Radiant Health. And so there is quite a bit of difference. I'm still fogging up, so I'm going to open the door, get a little ventilation going in here. Just out of curiosity, I like to hear you guys' opinions and see what you think. And there's no judgment. Not trying to push you into anything else. I'm just curious. Dan says, get detoxinated. I have an old Royal sauna with the long parabolic ceramic heaters behind the red grills. I cannot find if this is a true infrared sauna or just electric heaters. If it's the ceramic rod style heaters, it probably, well, it would depend on exactly what elements are in there, but I'm not familiar with the old Royal stuff. But there's a couple other brands. I think they were just rebranded, actually. I think the same factory made them. Kind of like still goes on today, but interesting. Mr. Tully or Fully? Part 1. Part 2. What is this? Hi, I just ordered a Radiant Health sauna 36 by 36 based on your reviews. Got the $500 discount. My doctor recommended Heavenly Heat, but I went with Radiant. Part 2, my only concern is the speakers and the radio. Don't want any VOC issues. The speakers are at the top and get hot. Will they off gas? Not in my experience. I mean, most of the saunas, if you're worried about the speakers off gassing, I mean, are you chemically sensitive or something? Is there an ongoing issue, or you just want to make sure you get clean equipment? The other thing you could do is, if you're worried about any potential off gassing, I think in episode 1 or 2 of the 30 for 30, I talked about activated charcoal bags. I'm going to add these to the list of sauna accessories that I use. Just working on the post, it's not done. But these are charcoal bags that you can recharge in the sun. If you put a couple of these in the sauna, if you sweat out crazy stuff, it'll help absorb that. If you're using the sauna for the first time and you haven't done like a burn off phase when you first get it, that's what I do. And you can see that in any of the videos where I put saunas together. But I really wouldn't worry about the speakers too much. Maybe I should have read part 3 first. My only concern, part 3, can you have Radiant Health but not put a speaker and radio in? Also, the activated carbon bag you put in your sauna, what brand? Oh, you already asked that. It doesn't matter what the brand is. I buy Moso bags. These are Moso from Amazon, but it's the same company is making this stuff. If this one was cut open, there's some other ones that I have cut open. What you want to look at is the content and the material in there. So you don't want to get the stuff that's like a solid brick, because the more porous it is, the more ability that it has to soak up things. And it's not 100%, right? Like it's not like an evac system or anything. It's just kind of like an extra precaution. But I feel confident in recommending these saunas. Number one, they've been tested the way they sit, and they haven't been fake tested. So some sauna companies take a bottle of air and a canister, almost like when you go to the bank and you go through the drive-through, that little canister that you put up through the chute, they have airtight things like that. And some of the sauna companies, even some of the brands that I recommend on the certified sauna list, they still checked out with my own VOC meter. That's the only reason they're still there. But there are some companies that take, not Radiant Health, I should preface all this stuff, that take bottles of air, send it to a lab for comparison. So it's just the air from within the sauna. The Radiant Health saunas are actually tested. That's why I don't worry about, the black cloth, the child safety cloth that everyone says, is toxic and all this other stuff. I wouldn't really worry about the speakers too much. It's just a low surface area, and you're most likely not going to be breathing any of that in. And there'd be other things that I would be concerned about way before, like a 6-inch speaker. Let's see what else you put up in there. Hopefully that was detailed enough. This seems like a lot of parts. Part 4, detoxing. I just started going to sauna. I did 2 sessions, 40 minutes within 12 hours. That's a lot, dude. The second session, I felt great, about an hour. My head fog hit, bad. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. You're overdoing it. Do you have some type of health issue? That's a lot. You've never sauna before and you did 2 sessions, 40 minutes long within 12 hours of each other. That's too much. What are you doing to yourself? Whose advice are you following? Because it's certainly not mine. No, I'm being stern with you because you want to take that a little bit more seriously. If you have other health issues, that's a little strong. I would back it off just a little bit. Part 5, I was using bentonite clay, but maybe it was not enough. Does this sound normal over detox? I'm 40 years old and have high pesticides. Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? Pesticides are easier to get out, in my opinion, than metals, given my limited experience. I'm not a clinician, not a doctor. This is not medical advice. If you're looking for medical advice, please see a licensed medical physician. Mandatory disclaimer, obviously. But pesticides come out great through the skin. So just keep using your sauna. But if you're starting out and you're a little health compromised, maybe you want to do like every other day. Maybe you want to do 3 times a week until you get used to it. Maybe you don't want to do 40 minutes. Maybe you want to dial down the heat a little bit, especially when you get your Radiant Health one person, I mean, reach out to me. I will give you a copy and paste protocol that I would recommend, or I can just tell you the bullet points now. What you want to do is be gentle with yourself, like be kind. Don't be He-Man like I started out and figure the hotter it is, the better it is, the longer it is, the better it is, because then you just end up fatigued and you don't have any gas in the tank, the following 2 days. So you're shooting yourself in the foot, trying to rush it. You want to calm down a little bit and be gentle with your body. Chet says, I used one sunlight at a chiropractor. I get a better sweat by far in my Radiant. I think way happier in Radiant. Yeah, me too. Definitely a safer sauna, lower EMF, lower VOC. And if it's an impulse like I was using that supposedly has the modes, you're not really getting much of the near infrared in that thing anyway. So those modes are kind of a crock of shit, but whatever. Truth Provider, the Heavenly Heat ones are interesting insofar as you can get a combo sauna that has traditional rock heater plus ceramic far infrared heaters, but you need a 20 amp circuit. You're correct, Truth Provider. One of the things that I can't remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, is because some of the other companies that make the steam saunas and they put carbon infrared heaters in them, I looked at getting one of those because I love the idea of either being able to do both, because it kind of solves the conundrum for people, right? And at the end of the day, when I was getting ready to place an order for one little thing came up over the phone, and I was like, well, wait a minute. You can't run the traditional heater with the infrared like together, because the sauna is not wired up that way, because then you would have to have 2 20 amp circuits. I don't know if that's true for that, but I would be curious to find out, because that's what stopped me from ordering one of those to try, because I didn't want to have to switch. Like, one day I could only use infrared. The other day I could only use the traditional or the dry electric heater. I didn't want to do that. I want to use them both simultaneously and see if there was any merit to combining them, right? Like, I think it would be a cool experiment. Just for seat of the pants, there's no way to quantify it. Too much talking, too much sweating, not enough drinking. Truth Provider says, oh, Mr. Tully, I'm using the sauna for health. I'm not sure is what giving me a head fog. I tested high in pesticides. Well, I mean, it could be a lot of things. If you're dehydrated, you need electrolytes, potassium, magnesium. If you're toxic, you could just be, stirring shit up faster than you can eliminate it. So both of those, the answer is go slower, less heat, shorter time. You work up to what you're capable of handling, and listen to your body. If you feel hot, if you feel lightheaded, if you feel, I know you said you felt great, but then you felt bad later. So that's just a sign. It's telling you what to do. You just need to back off a little bit. I would get an electrolyte supplement, a good one. And I would continue to take the bentonite. I think that's a great choice. And if you're overdoing it, your body's going to tell you. And sometimes when you detox stuff, it can make you feel like shit. You got to let your body recover and then get after it again. Just go a little less, a little gentler. At least that's my opinion. I'm not a doctor. I can't clear you to do any particular protocol, yada, yada, yada. Pesticides can do that, says Truth Provider. Take binders for pesticide detox. Agree. Truth Provider says, Bob Morgan said, I need 2 separate circuits to run both types of heaters simultaneously. Sounds about right. Okay, cool. Well, at least they gave you a straight answer and you didn't have to ask and probe around and find out like 5 minutes before you gave me your credit card. Because I was fully well expecting, and I don't know why I was expecting that, because I know the electronics and the power consumption very well. And I should have known, 2,000 to 3,000 watts of available power on tap with the given circuits in an environment to install one of those is not enough to run both at the exact same time if it's a full set of heaters for infrared and a full set of dry electric. So let's see. Chet says, has anyone ever weighed towels before and after sauna use for water loss? That's an interesting, actually, that would be interesting. That'd be funny. I see where you're going with that too. Dan says, had an engineer at our detoxination protocol at our center, and he showed me that by having the vent open only halfway, he was able to increase the temp a few degrees. Have you ever heard of this? Well, what do you mean? The temperature on, like on the roof? And I don't know exactly what you're saying. Like, so in some of the saunas, we'll crack the door and actually let the heat escape, but it's because where they placed the sensor for the thermometer or the thermostat setting, it is in a high location. So the sauna is actually higher, or I'm sorry, the sauna is hotter, higher than you sit, which doesn't really help you. And it was kicking the heaters off too soon. So we would crack the door. Yeah, we lose heat, but the far infrared stays on 100% of the time. I don't know if you're talking about that or if you're talking about opening a roof vent to simulate airflow, and then you could somehow make the performance of the sauna improve. I'm not sure which one you mean, Dan. Unknown Jester X. I like the name. Does Radiant Health Sauna initially charge your credit card up front for the full amount or just a deposit? How long did it take for them to ship your sauna? I called them earlier, but they were busy. Yeah, you got to leave a message. All the sauna companies are swamped right now because most of them are back ordered. But I think when they're out of stock, you don't pay for the full amount up front. I think they take a $500 deposit, if I'm not mistaken, or no deposit at all. But if you want to get in line, you want to give them a $500 deposit. If for some reason you change your mind, they'll give it back to you. It's not like they're holding you hostage or anything. But if you want one of the first available restocks when they come in, it's a good idea to have a deposit. How long did it take for them to ship your sauna? That's a loaded question right now in this COVID environment, because before this year, you would have your sauna in less than 2 weeks, guaranteed by the owner. They're the fastest shipping sauna company in the entire industry. But due to limited supply and all the the dicey stuff with different municipalities and deliveries and truck drivers and all that stuff, you would have to call them, man. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to say a reasonable time frame that I would trust at the moment. You want to speak to them directly, because if I told you something today, it could change tomorrow. So I would hate to mislead you. Mr. Tully, thank you for the info. Totally new to this and trying to figure out in a days of head fog. Heavenly Heat has no bells and whistles. Speakers, just wanted to make sure Radiant was good for health. It's good. I've used a lot of them, and there's a lot of people that have used a lot of them. If it was bad, we'd know by now. It's a very solid choice. My most recommended sauna, just because they're easy to work with. The price is great. The product is excellent. Doesn't break. Works good. Low EMF, low VOC. Let me see. And if you have, Mr. Tully, if you have other questions about the head fog, if you could be more descriptive, there's people in here, and including myself, that can probably help you with maybe a few other tips, stuff to try. But definitely, be mindful of electrolytes, minerals, things like that. If you're jumping out of the gate, 40-minute sessions, double in 12 hours, that's a lot. Let's see. Christina says, hi, looking forward to buy infrared sauna here in Europe. Offered me a brand Montfield. They're made in Czech. Do you know something about them? I'm sorry, I've never heard of those. Most of the stuff that I deal with is in the States. There's a lot of obscure stuff in Europe that I haven't used before. Some of it, a few companies have reached out and said, hey, can we send you one of these just to try it and see if you like it? The trouble is it's a pain in the butt because some of them are 50 hertz, and it's just the amount of people that would probably apply to is very minimal. So it's a little bit of a challenge to do all that stuff and get set up to do it. I've just never heard of them. I'm sorry. Chet says, Radiant takes deposit, but you can pay full up front. If you do deposit and funds are not there when ready to ship, I think you lose your spot. Yeah, but they're not going to take your money. The owner, Randy, he's not about that. There's no way. If that were to happen, just send me an email. Paul Aitken, hey Matt, you're inspiring all of us. I do 1 to 2 minute times 20 sessions a day, 20-minute sessions a day. Sweat very quickly in the mornings. I feel great after workout and then sauna. I'm also an advocate of intermittent fasting. Awesome. How long have you been doing that, Paul? What Mr. Tully at Unknown? I just purchased a Radiant. They charge your card for $500 while the sauna is ordered 8 to 19 weeks. They charge the rest when they ship. Mention Matt for $500 off. The Mr. Tully, just to be clear, that 8 to 19 weeks is not normal. That company would not be recommended on my certified sauna list if that was the normal delivery time. That's only because it's a COVID year. and everything's all screwed up. The inventory is screwed up. The shipping and distribution is screwed up. And if you call others, it's not just them. If you call other sauna companies, some of them aren't delivering for like 5 months. So it's kind of it's not the best situation right now. I wish there was an answer to that, but let's see. Dean Johnson says, have you used the colored LED lights in the high-tech health sauna? I'm really enjoying them. Who knows if they're actually helpful? Yeah, I mean, I have a health tech, or you can't see it, but I have a high-tech health right across the way there, and it has the LED lights in them. I don't use that sauna very often to film in because the flicker is so bad in those lights. It makes the camera recording go with the lines in it. It's great for chromotherapy, but I would not use that thinking that that is a therapeutic output dosage of red light therapy, because in no way, shape, or form is it. It's not even close to being a PBMT panel, but it looks cool. And if you like red light therapy, or if you like chromotherapy and colored lighting environments, it's awesome. Let's see, 8 to 10 weeks. Mr. Foley says, awesome. Thanks, guys. $500 deposit for sure. 23 people watching now. 26, truth provider. You slacking. I'm just kidding. I can actually see this screen today, but thank you very much. Jonathan Gibson, just ordered my clear light today. Thanks for your priceless research and information. Jonathan, just out of curiosity, did you order it? Where'd you order it from? Like the Clear Light headquarter people, or did you go through a dealer? I'm just curious. I've got some new videos that I've got to put out. I don't want to put them out on Clear Light, but I'm getting some complaints actually. Some folks, I guess they've hired some new phone sales staff or something, and some of the staff at the Clear Light HQ is misleading people or being untruthful and even talking smack about yours truly. So I got to call them and see what's going on. But this happens from time to time because the new staff comes in and their whole job is to sell saunas, so they do whatever they can to do that. Not always the best sales process or customer experience. So I'm curious if yours was good. Where'd you buy it from? Directly from the headquarters? Okay, cool. Did you have a good experience? Who helped you? And was it smooth? No bullshit from them? I just want to make sure, because when I start getting complaints, that's usually a red flag. This has happened in other years, and usually I have to get out the whip and do a little cracking. So I give them a call and say, hey, I'm getting complaints from subscribers and things aren't smooth. People are lying to them. I don't like this. Not only are you guys raising the price again without improving the product, here we go. All right, enough of that. Seahorses and seashells. Interesting screen name. I bought the 2.5 person from Radiant Health Sauna recently. The product is amazing. It's literally the best thing I've done for my life. It's like my own time travel capsule in my living room. That's awesome. Yeah, I agree. When I moved to Maine last November, I had to have a sauna delivered because there was no way I was going to stay there for a few months without one. So I totally understand. Glad you like it. What Seahorses and Seashells, what made you buy it? Like, were you just looking to improve health and longevity, be healthier? It sounds like you kind of use it as I don't want to call it a meditation device, but it's kind of like your quiet time, your serenity place, and all that stuff, which I think is really cool. It's one of the best things that we can do for ourselves is tie, the ritual or the habit of sauna with that frame of mind. Mr. Tully, thank you for all your help. We'll keep checking in with you this month. Absolutely. If you get stuck, I'm inside the sauna, so I can't touch the keyboard, but if you get stuck, go to my lifestyle blog, cleverleverage.com, hit the contact page. There's a form at the bottom, skip all the nonsense at the top, and just send me a private email. I'm happy to help you if you get stuck. Truth provider, wow, I can time travel in my Radiant Health sauna. Okay. Are you surprised that we are 43 minutes live, which I should probably get out soon? Jonathan, directly from the headquarters. Paul says, I first started off with traditional a year ago. Through education, I purchased infrared. I'm a big fan of Ben Greenfield and all things exercise science. Yeah, Ben's awesome. Excellent. So if you purchased an infrared, how long have you had it? And what do you think the difference is between the traditional you were using and the infrared? Like, what are the pros and cons of both in your experience, Paul? Jonathan says, I knew exactly what I wanted thanks to you. Awesome. I appreciate that. Excellent. What'd you get, by the way, Jonathan? You didn't mention, did you get a Premier? Did you get a Sanctuary? What size? And did you outfit it with any extras? If so, why? If not, why not? Just curious. Like, what do you guys like? What do you see out there that looks good to you in the marketplace? Why do you like it? What benefits do you hope to achieve from it? you know, all that stuff. What essentials oils do you find beneficial to use in the sauna therapeutically? That's a great question. And you know what? They're all downstairs. There's this one that I like. It's called Breathe, but I don't know if it's great for everyone because it's a blend. So sometimes, like, you're kind of, I don't want to use the wrong word, but you're kind of open, right? Like when you're in the sauna, just in general. So sometimes essential oils can get really strong. You're in a closed space with little or minimized ventilation. So I'm hesitant to say, but I like the blend Breathe. I was gonna say the word Melaleuca, but I think that's an old brand from like 25 years ago. I'm trying to remember the ones that I have downstairs that I really like. There was some oregano stuff that I was trying back in the day. I used to put all that crazy stuff in a nebulizer in a neti pot, and it was before I really got into saunas. But it was too strong and burns the eyes when you use it in the sauna. So that's my other hesitation. Like if you're not used to that or you don't know what to expect, it could be a rude awakening. How about this? How about I will look tomorrow morning, and in tomorrow night's live, I'll have the names for you because I can't remember. There's like 7 or 8 bottles that I've got downstairs, and only 2 or 3 of them are, you know, only 2 or 3 of them I would recommend to you. Let's see. Jonathan says, sorry about that, Edwin. I don't remember the brands or the like the blend that I really like. Jonathan says, 2-person premiere with a red light bar. Cancer runs in my family, so I'm most interested in detoxification. Cool. That's awesome. How do you like the red light bar? Truth Provider, Matt, have you tried lion's mane turkey tail? Not turkey tail, but I've taken a ton of lion's mane. I'm off of it right now, but when I drink a lot of coffee, I usually have lion's mane and L-theanine. So I find that works really well. Chet says, you ever think of doing a Patreon account? I did, Chet. I have a problem with charging people for information that I think should be free. However, it's funny that you ask that. I don't know if I'm ready to release that because there's not very much material in there, but maybe a week and a half ago, I set up a silent, kind of hidden little private members area. And I do want to give you and all the other guys, Truth Provider, Edwin, especially Chet, you guys have helped me when I've had troubles and the camera has frozen. And I wanted to figure out a way to give you some free stuff. And one of the ways that I'll be able to do that is within the Sauna Underground. So if you go to saunacourses.com and you click on all courses, because you will not see this on the homepage, it's at the very, very end. And you scroll all the way down, there's a private little members area called Sauna Underground. If you click on that and click join, you don't have to pay for this. There is pricing things in there like a Patreon, but if you click free right now, I'm going to make sure it gives you the same access. Yes, eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is one of them. Thank you, Stephen. I couldn't think of the name. I'm going to make sure that you guys get access to the whole thing just because I wanted to thank you. There's nothing in there right now except for an antiviral protocol that you guys asked about the other day. There's a few resources in there that I would like to share with you. There is a free book and a couple supplement recommendations that I have been taking myself. I have flown back and forth and driven back and forth to Maine 6 times since February, and I've never had any issues. So I would like to share that with you guys, just not on YouTube. I want it to be privately. So I came up with the Sauna Underground. Wasn't going to mention anything about it until I got a bunch of material in there because I wanted it to be valuable for everybody. But since you asked about Patreon, no, I probably won't ever do a Patreon, but I will do my own version, which is the Sauna Underground. So I wanted to have a place where people could also ask me, like people have tried to ask about specific sauna brands and recommendations in this live chat. And some of the stuff I just don't want to talk about publicly because the companies that I don't really care for, I really don't have any desire to shit on them publicly or, you know, rip their product apart, even though it probably should be. I'm trying to be a little bit more, you know, even keeled in my wiser days. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to talk about it at all. Like I want to tell people what I think, just not in public. So if that's for you, that's where you can go and you can get access to it. You don't have to pay for it. There are payment options on there like Patreon, but you guys are part of the core group. You really don't need to pay for anything. So later on, if I market that, I'll take the free stuff off, but you'll be grandfathered in for sure. Just ordered it today. Should arrive the end of January. Awesome. Let me know how you like it. Truth Provider says maybe set up a tip jar. Nah, I mean, I don't have to beg for money, Truth Provider. Before I did the sauna stuff, I was already, I mean, the only reason I could even buy the saunas and go to a functional medicine doctor, I've been very blessed in my life. I work very hard, but I've also been very, very fortunate. So I have a hard time with asking, I have a hard time with even charging for stuff. You know how upset with me people in my life are that I have a DIY sauna course for $9.99 that I put over 200 hours of testing into? And then most of it wasn't even worthwhile because the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. And we went back to the original thing that I could have tested and put out in like 10 or 20 hours. Yeah, that's just me. That's just who I am. So, but I can tell you right now, there are people in my life that are not happy with me and say that I undervalue my, all my stuff. But that's for me to worry about, not for you guys. Paul says traditional is fantastic for extreme temperatures and feeling completely drained afterwards and even feeling lightheaded. Heat shock proteins, mitochondrial density, infrared, more comfortable. Yeah, I wish they would come out with a little bit more research on that. I think you can make heat shock proteins in an infrared sauna. You just can't be, you can't be beating around the bush. You got to use it. Truth Fighter, I used to visit Bar Harbor. Very pretty. Awesome. Where's that coming from? Because I said I went to Maine. Yeah, I have been going to, most people don't know what it is, but there's a ski resort in Maine. It's one of the, I'm not a huge skier because I'm from Florida, but it's one of the prominent ski places, I think, in the Northeast. It's called Sugarloaf. So I've been going halfway between Sugarloaf and the Canadian border for 31, going on 32 years now. My grandparents were snowbirds, and I used to go there for the summers and live with them. And it was the best thing that anyone could have ever done for me. The only reason that I know how to build things and, create stuff this day and age, or my entire life really, is because of the time that I spent there. So it was awesome. I agree. Paul Aiken, Truth Writer, Saint Matt. And I'm definitely no saint. Definitely haven't been a saint in a past life either. I like money. I just don't need it from, the people who are sometimes health challenged. I know what it's like to be there and, not be able to afford certain stuff, especially when somebody looks at you and they say, hey, you should go for 10 hyperbaric oxygen therapy treatments to see what it does for you. I'm like, oh, really? How much is that? Oh, I don't know. Somewhere between $1,800 and $3,200. It just depends. I'm like, oh, okay. Seahorses and seashells. I work in the hot yoga fitness industry. The area we are currently in led me to buy one. The benefits I could rave on from my years of hot infrared classes. Healing benefits are endless, as you know. Awesome. Glad that you're liking it. Yeah, I feel, I like yoga too, but when I went to the more fitness oriented yoga classes, man, it just kicks my butt. And I don't get like that Zen centered peaceness that I do when I go to a more of a, like, even if I don't know how you guys explain this because I don't know the lingo, but you can go to a hot yoga class and then you can go to a hot yoga class. You know what I'm saying? And I like the more mild one because you just for somebody who's not that experienced in yoga or is kind of, a little bit top heavy and not super flexible, me, I get more, I just feel better doing the mild one. Like I work out and stuff. I don't really need to get a workout from the yoga, but interesting. What did you say? I put giant Himalayan salt block in the booth. Your videos and time spent researching are invaluable. You're appreciated. Thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that. Rachel says, benefits I've seen: better sleep, clearer skin, lighter menstrual cycle, TMI. Nah, it's all right. I mean, we taught, gotta cover everything. Some of the stuff that people have trouble with, if we don't talk about it, they're not going to hear about this from their doctor. So improved energy. Yeah, that seems to be, I mean, in my experience, the better sleep, actually for me, most people is the sleep, the skin, and like some clear-headedness. That seems to be the top 3 benefits of sauna use that I've found kind of like across the board. Paul says, we're very grateful we found your blogs and YouTube channels. You made so much sense of the fog and nonsense in the industry. Well, thank you. That's only because I had the fog and I went through the nonsense in the industry. That's why some of the sauna companies are not very happy with me right about now, because it's hard to hire an advertising company and run ads and understand the intricacies of going through this yourself. So when somebody stumbles onto my video, they're like, hey, this guy is talking like exactly what I was thinking 5 minutes ago when so-and-so told me to do this. And then I went and researched it. And now he's saying that exact thing. The only reason is because I went through it myself. Let's see. But thank you very much. Truth Provider, I've only done one yoga with puppies, dogs. Really? Like they go to a hot yoga, or are you just mean like yoga on your floor, like in your house? Man, 55 minutes tonight. This is a lot. I'm probably going to hop out pretty soon, guys. I'm still in the high 130s. There's 6 minutes on my clock, like on the timer. Obviously, that doesn't really mean anything. But is there any last questions before I log off? I'm going to go have a shower and relax. Maybe I'm kind of amped up tonight, so I don't think I'll be going to sleep soon. Maybe I'll watch a movie and relax. Edwin says, thanks, Matt. Thanks, Edwin, for being here. I appreciate seeing you regularly. That's awesome. Not only does it help, when you ask questions and interact, and it helps me get more out of it because you guys participate. Hopefully it's more motivating and more regular to say, hey, yeah, this sauna stuff, we need to be doing it all the time. So that's the goal of the 30 for 30. 1 p.m. in Australia, Paul says. Have a good evening, Matt and everyone. It is 9:55 here, so good afternoon to you. Good evening from me. Chet says, I got 60 minutes in tonight. Thanks for everything. Absolutely, Chet, anytime. Truth Fighter says, thanks, Matt. Thank you guys, Chet and Truth Fighter. You guys and a few of you guys have really helped me out when I was struggling with the equipment the other day. So I really want you to know that I appreciate your help, and I wouldn't have been able to get people from the wrong live chat over to the right one when YouTube locked me out. So thank you very much. Wouldn't be able to do this without you. If it wasn't for your commentary, I would just be a guy in a sauna talking to a lens. So thank you very much. Have a great weekend, guys. Good to see you guys. Dan, thanks for being here. Unknown Jester, thank you. Haven't seen you before. Hope to see you again tomorrow. 30 for 30 sauna challenge every night for the last 12 nights. Another, what is it, 17, 18 to go. Every night at 9 p.m. Eastern. So hope to see you guys. Stephen, Kathy, good to see you. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you later. Okay.